Okay, so I just got done watching the Mario movie a couple days ago, and holy shit is this movie awesome. Okay, so I have a personal fondness for this franchise because I grew up playing the absolute out of these games with my older brother. And I gotta say, man, this movie hits every goddamn note when it comes to representing this franchise and everything it stands for. This is a review that's sort of scripted, non-scripted, because I just want to give out my raw thoughts. Give you the raw dog feel of my thoughts because. Oh my god, like words really cannot express the feelings and the joy I had watching this movie. Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, and all the actors in this movie are absolutely phenomenal. I was so surprised by Chris Pratt's performance in this movie. Honestly, like it feels like they typecasted when it came to actually writing the characters and developing them. Jack Black's performance as Bowser actually like carries this movie like tremendously. If the movie's not already like levitated above everything else Illumination has made in like the past like years, like Jack Black is already lifting it up with a finger. I swear to God. Obviously, like, when I saw the casting list when the movie got announced first, I was like, this is gonna be goofy. Hopefully it's fine. And it was awesome. I mean, really, like, it was a tremendous film. It's like this supreme love letter to the Mario fans. No matter how old school you are about the series, or if you're a new generation kid, getting into the series for the first time, there's a little something for everyone. Like, everybody can enjoy this movie for what it has, except for critics. But, still, I don't understand what the critics are, like, expecting in this movie. I don't know. Like, okay, so this movie got a lot of backlash from critics for some reason. They don't want to have fun. They just don't like fun for some reason. I don't know why. Mario has never been known to tell, like, these super complex stories like fucking Last of Us or whatever. It's a fucking franchise about an Italian plumber jumping around fucking mushrooms and hopping on turtles and killing a big old turtle to save some bitch. That is all this series is about. It's so happy to embrace the silliness of the characters and in the world. It fully embraces what it is. And it just, like the environment, the characters, they're so comical, they're so expressive. Everything about this movie just feels like the games come to life. And it's just so beautiful, especially with the pacing of the story. The story pacing is so awesome because it feels like, okay, well, we'll go on to the next level. Okay, cool. Next scene, going on straight to the next level. This movie is a truly good spectacle to watch, and it portrays the characters in the best way possible. Mario is a noble character. He is a hero. He is somebody that has a good heart and cares deeply for his brother. And it tells a pretty good underdog story too. Mario getting pushed around all the time because he's the short little guy, and he still has the courage to fight against whatever stands in his way. Also, when it comes to other characters too, like Peach and shit, Peach is fun to watch too. Honestly, I do appreciate the fact that they did cut away from the whole damsel in distress thing, because Peach hasn't always been a damsel in distress. Like, I understand that, like, that was like a big focal point of the games back in the day, but if you look back and do a little bit of research and shit, there's games where Peach is actually like an active member of the team, like in Mario Bros 2. And Princess Peach has her own fucking game where she saves Mario and Luigi. I mean, like, there's multiple times. Oh yeah, no. So Nintendo Power did a run back in the day where they did like a comic series, and Super Mario Adventures was one of them. And it told a really cool story, and it actually gave a lot of depth to Peach as a character and made her more badass. Also, if you haven't read that comic series, definitely give it a read. And if you're craving for more Mario lore and story, there you go. It's pretty fun. Okay, so the plot basically goes as Mario and Luigi get sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom from a secret warp down underneath Brooklyn. Mario and Luigi essentially get split up. Mario goes to the Mushroom Kingdom, and Luigi ends up in Bowser's Kingdom, ends up getting captured. And then that's basically Mario's motivation throughout the whole story to go help and save his brother Luigi. He meets Peach, who acts like a good friend and a mentor to him. And Toad, he's like a little buddy there. He's just having a good time. Pretty cool, awesome story. Pretty cool little adventure. They go to the Donkey Kong Country kingdom, And then Mario fights Donkey Kong. They become friends. They do a lot of cool. Racing carts and stuff. Oh yeah. Also, there's a really cool training montage where Mario gets good. He learns how to use the power ups and does a lot of old school platforming like in the old games. It's fucking awesome. It's really fun. The weird thing about this movie is that it has a lot of these inserted track songs in the movie, like Hero by Bonnie Tyler, Thunderstruck and shit. And also, yeah, when they're in Brooklyn, it plays No Sleep Till Brooklyn, and that's super. It's not, to me personally, I don't have a problem with it, but it did throw me off when I watched it at first. I was like, why the fuck is there like regular old music in this movie? This is so weird. It didn't ruin it for me, but it definitely threw me off a little bit, but I kind of enjoyed it though. The thing I like about this movie too is that there is no like complex story in this. It's a very simple, bare bones, basic story. It's not super like the characters aren't complex whatsoever. There are a few moments in this movie where like characters are about to have these deep moments, like Mario and Donkey Kong are about to have like these moments where they're talking about their dads not really like approving of them and whatever, but then they kind of brush it off. And to be honest, I'm okay with that because I'm not watching Mario for his quote-unquote daddy issues. I'm here to watch him to do cool shit. Now I understand that some people would like to have more depth to his character, but I don't see how you could really do more depth with his character without slowing the paces like of the movies and making it feel a little drawn out and kind of a little bit forced, because we've never really like established Mario. Like this has never really been established in like the entire franchise. I don't know. It feels kind of weird that like you would try to do this whole Mario's dad doesn't approve of what he's doing. It's just really strange to me. I never interpreted Mario as a young guy that's like trying to get his daddy's approval. I always imagined him as like a 30-year-old dude that's just living his life in the Mushroom Kingdom. That's literally how I interpret him. So it's a little strange to me personally. But I'm also like not saying that like that whole concept is bad, but I'm saying that like it's not entirely necessary. And I know that there's some people that are saying, oh, well, you know, they had these really good character moments, but they breezed past them. It's like, to me, it's just not necessary because we got to get to the next fucking scene of the story. Now, I understand that this movie is super fast. It's a very fast-paced movie. I totally understand why some people might have an issue with that. But I personally don't. I don't have an issue with it. I have no problems with it. I think it's just fine the way it is. Would I like to see... Okay, no. Here's my thing. I would like for this movie to have a longer runtime because I want more of this movie. I want to see more. That's my only complaint. Okay, so there's only two complaints I have for this movie. Really, the only complaint is I wish this movie was longer so I could enjoy it more. And they did my boy Luigi a little bit dirty. Now, I will say that Charlie Day's performance as Luigi is fucking fantastic. Really just a perfect choice for this guy. And they did a really good job portraying him and writing him in. However, I do have a bit of an issue with what they did with him. They completely fucking shafted him for about 75% of the movie because he's locked in a cage for like most of the movie. And like, he doesn't do anything till like the final climax when Mario rescues him. I'm a Luigi fan, so it kind of annoyed me what they did with that, but at the very least, they had him do something in the climax and gave him a little moment. So it was awesome. I hope to God they do a Luigi's Mansion movie. I hope to God. I really like Luigi's Mansion. Please, 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 Nintendo, please make a Luigi's Mansion movie. The movie's not long enough for me. I want to see more of it. But I understand why it's its length, because it's a kid's movie. It's a family movie. It's a movie for family and kids. You don't go to the movie theaters and expect a 3-hour long character analysis over fucking Gru from Despicable Me. No, you're not there. You're there to sit there for about an hour and a half and just vibe and chill in the movie theater. There's also a few scenes that I really, really, really fucking like in this movie. Now, when Luigi gets trapped in the dark forest and he's heading over to Bowser's castle, there is this really nice, spooky vibe that's very reminiscent of Luigi's Mansion. They even directly reference it when he's having the flashlight going, Mario! Especially with the spooky ass dry bones. Holy shit. The movie actually startled me a little bit just purely by the way they did the scene. You know, they actually tried to make it scary and it was awesome. Mario versus Donkey Kong. Oh my god. This scene was so awesome to watch because it really just shows like the tenacity of Mario as a character. Also, the stage and everything is very reminiscent of Super Smash Bros. Actually, now that I think about it, it's actually very reminiscent of Super Smash Bros. And the old school Donkey Kong, if you think about it. And it's really fun. Mario turns into that little cat suit. He goes, "Nya, motherfucker, nya," and then just whoops on Donkey Kong's ass. Another scene is the climax where Mario and Luigi fight Bowser. They get the superstar and whoop on his ass. Again, reminiscent of the Mario and Luigi series from the series named Mario and Luigi. How they do like these little team attacks, and they take turns whooping on his ass. And I gotta mention, bro, I gotta mention this really funny scene where Bowser is just sitting there. He's sitting there on a piano singing a love ballad to Peach, and it is so beautiful the way Jack Black sings this song. It's so funny. Funny story, actually. I watched this movie a couple days after it came out, and I was trying to avoid spoilers so I could just watch it raw, but I got spoiled on the Bowser piano scene, and then when I was at work, I was just humming the fucking peaches, 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 peaches. Like, I was just humming that whole song in my head because I'm like, oh my god, this song, this movie's gonna be so fun. I was more hyped to watch this movie than I was the Sonic 2 movie, and that says a lot because I'm also a big Sonic fan too. Like, it's so funny because this movie is another one of those cases where the critics absolutely despise this movie, but if anybody has a brain and realizes what this movie is supposed to be, they actually think, oh yeah, no, this movie's great, it's fantastic. Anybody who's a Mario fan, anybody who plays games, can appreciate something about this. If you're a Mario fan, or if you got kids and you remember playing Mario as a kid as well, fucking go take your kids to watch this movie. Honestly, like, there is so much to enjoy about this movie. And the other thing I have left to say is peaches, 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 oh, peaches, peaches.